Welcome to the Karate Training Centers. I'm Marty Martin. I'm here with John Johnson, and we're sharing self-defense techniques and tactics from Kenpo Set Karate. In this section, we're going to talk about the roundhouse kick. We're going to show you a good defense against the roundhouse kick, and it's all based around what we refer to as a universal block in Kenpo. So John Eddie and I will take position. Now before John Eddie kicks, let me show you what the block looks like if you're not familiar with it. The backhand punches down, the front hand snaps into an inward block, and we utilize this whole tool then by moving it around to cover a large area, and it's a great tool against a roundhouse kick. Let me do a couple blocks before John Eddie kicks so you can get an idea of what it looks like. We shoot it in from here. It blocks. As I said, you can move the height and the location of it. Practicing with a partner, having them throw kicks at you and throwing this block out there will help you. We utilize this in a defensive tactic to establish position so we can work on the knee. Now before we get to that, John Eddie's going to throw a couple of roundhouse kicks at me, and let me show you how the block works. So John Eddie kicks. I'm going to block. Kick, kick, kick. Alright, you can see John Eddie's putting a little force there. You got to snap that block into position, but it works. Alright, now let's look at, after we block that kick, how can we take advantage of the hand position in this technique, in this block, to take advantage of the opponent's knee and turn their body. If you followed some of my teachings in Kenpo, you know that we work on depth zones and we work on body manipulation, we work on turning the body so that we can get an advantaged position. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. John Eddie throws the kick, I block it, I catch it. Now my lower hand turns this down, and see exactly what happened right off the bat. John Eddie's upper body was turned, and when I brought this around, I was able to turn him away from me. Now I didn't wrench on it hard because the opponent is on one leg in the roundhouse kick. It's pretty easy to turn that. So let's watch John Eddie's shoulder. Watch what happens when I turn this leg right off the top. He kicks. I turn that right away. Now I'm holding and John Eddie's trying to keep his balance. But if I were going to continue with this technique, I slide this up so I have an ankle lock. I have my figure four. I do a little bit of an adjustment here, and I wrench this down and in, and I'm driving that right down and in and towards the ground. If I cross this over, it prevents John Eddie from being able to utilize that other leg to come back and kick with. Alright, let's look at this from the other side. I want you to watch John Eddie's upper body. If somebody throws a kick, then in likelihood they could be following up with a punch or a hand technique. This technique makes it very difficult for you to accomplish that for someone else to punch her, because watch the upper body, okay? Now Johnny's going to fire that kick. I block and I turn him immediately. And you see how hard it was for him to keep his balance. But right off of that, as I drop this into a smother block and I turn this, I turn that upper body. Look at his body posture. From there, even if I step back, I make it even harder on him. I'm stretching him out. From there, I'm driving this down and into the ground, and I'm pushing in. Okay, all of those things are going to work on his legs, going to work on his hips, going to work on his body position. That's what makes the technique so successful and so effective, is that we're turning that whole upper body away, taking away the opportunity for the punch or for the hand technique. So the more aggressive somebody is with the kick, the faster you block and turn this to your smother block, you can turn that body away from you. And let's look at this one more time. Kick comes, and you're in there. Right in that position, I'm down. I've got my ankle lock, drop it right down and in, and I've got John Eddie locked up. Okay? That's one way that you can utilize the universal block of Kenpo Karate in self-defense technique tactics.